Heroes of the Storm, let's go! Semi-final, the winner bracket semi-final at the CCL. We already saw our first match where we had Crowd Control go up against Simplicity, and well, the results were surprising. But now we have Wildheart Esports going up against Oxygen Esports in another Heroes of the Storm best of 5 in this tournament, as both teams are trying to move to the grand final. The loser will drop into the lower bracket, as we are in the top 4 already. On the left side of the map, we got for Wildheart Esports, Zergling on Diva, Unaverted on Mephisto, Justin on Sonya, Funds on Lily, and Butts on Stukov. The double support right here. Whereas on the right side of the map, Oxygen Esports is playing this out with Banana Age on Brightwing, Nazmas on the Vikings, Madara on Orphea, we got Prismaticism on Cassia, and Red Robot is playing Jojo. By the way, for all the pronunciation Nazis that are always running around, it's like, nah, that needs to be pronounced like this. So first of all, shut up. Second of all, I'm pronouncing his name exactly the way that it's pronounced in Naruto, so screw you if you don't like it. I don't know what other anime uses that, but Madara Uchiha is definitely pronounced that way. That's at least what I'm being told over and over again when I watch that shit. So, shush. Either way, I don't really think we have to go over the usual spiel of the ping disadvantages, because this is a full... Oh no, Banana Age is in here. So yeah, Banana Age is actually the only EU player, if I'm not mistaken, so he has a bit of a ping disadvantage at this point, which is, yeah, kind of unfortunate for him. But again, the boy has been popping off a lot. Obviously, all of those matches are played on the North American Heroes of the Storm server. This isn't an A tournament after all. And therefore, if a European or Korean Heroes of the Storm player decides that it's a great idea to participate here, you take into account that you will have to play with a significant ping disadvantage that will make certain plays and reactions just impossible to you. But that's just what it is, you know? So, we got our first game. Wildheart is just going for wild drafts. Honestly, at this point, I always feel like they feel a little bit of pressure of going into something crazy. If it works out or not, that's different question. It definitely was very successful at the beginning of the season, since a lot of the European teams and players in particular were completely caught off guard by some of that. And the Vikings on this map, as we are on Tomb of the Spider Garden, are obviously also quite effective, since it's a huge map where you can play a lot around camps. But they didn't go into the Viking bribery in the level 1. Instead we got Olaf the Stoat right here with a bit of physical armor. Not really a fan necessarily. I mean, again, I guess you can play around him as a bit of an extra tank, but at the same time, this is a cool map for Viking bribery, because you have there's tons and tons of camps to steal away. So there's a lot that you can do with this. But, well, we'll see. Full-on slam bam build for Sonya. We've seen that a lot now, of course. We got Eric the Swift on level 4. Vikings are, of course, going to thrive a little bit just as the game continues. And over here, we got our little panda with the surging winds. Lily is looking for adventure again. Having a bit of an assist by Admiral Stukov over here. The Admiral himself trying to help her out, and so he should. Careful. Yeah, Orphea, she wanted the kill and she nearly got it against Justin. But Sonya survives. Close call. But damn, that could have been... That could have been a quick kill right there. Could have been the opening one. So far we haven't seen first blood yet. It's Diva who's rotating around and trying to just keep those lanes at bay as they're moving topside and in the middle. Talking about the mid lane, Unaverted on Mephisto is currently passing by. And get some damage in against Nazmas, but the Vikings player pays attention, moves all out, and so everything's Gucci. But yeah, it's time to shine a bit. Also, we have with Brightwing, of course, a global. So honestly, macro side, definitely in the hands of Oxygen Esports. The question is always, can they play the macro game here, or are they going to be forced in fights that they don't want to take? Butts gets interrupted over here. There's, of course, a lot of sustain ready for Funds and Butts, so there's that. But let's see how this is going to work out for them. There's already the explode. Oh, value. Nah, not enough. I thought they could body block that a bit more. Eric goes down, but he interrupts Butts. Not long enough to completely cancel the entire thing, but at least they were able to delay it a bit further. And now Zergling is losing out on the mech. The pilot itself still fine, eats some of the damage. They're trying to go for Unaverted, but Mephisto is also able to escape. The Vikings have in the meantime still continued pushing. At the top, of course, experience isn't really going to be lost because Zergling is already rotating in. But at least the wall is taking some damage. The gate, too, at the bottom of the map. Seems like they're still making a play for Justin, but there's just too many heroes rotating in from Wildheart Esports to assist Sonya. And that forces the red team back quickly. It's a pretty aggressive game. I mean, there's a lot of fights happening between the two. Now, of course, when you're playing the Vikings, what you're trying to do normally is you have the Vikings soaking the lanes and then a 4-man is pushing on one lane. It's not quite what we're seeing here. We still have Cassia also helping out and taking camps. They took the one at the top. And that's a really cool move for them now, because there's no camp that has been taken on the blue team side, and there's only D.Va to defend. So the Vikings can now push the top lane with the help of the camp, as everybody else is still focusing at the bottom of the map. Brightwing can also global it out a bit longer. And we have for another seed about to spawn here. So there's quite some pressure now on Wildheart Esports. They make the long rotation with Buds over to the top, but you can see that this is paying off. First of all, the entire mech was lost. Prismaticism has helped the camp to take the wall down. There's a more than half-level lead now, and an easy challenge channel on the seed. So one seed against the seed, early level 10 for the red team. We have only one kill in the game, but generally speaking, Oxygen Esports is kind of doing fine. We lost some structures at the bottom of the map, so it's not like they came off all of this unscathed, but still at the top they're doing some work. They're starting to control at least the camps regularly. So yeah, small lead in experience, nothing too crazy, but it might add up if they are able to build on it. So, well, top side, that's where the Vikings are still holding this, playing it passive out, of course. So yeah, got to. And down at the bottom, what else are we gonna get here? Yeah, 1 kill against 0. Level 10 abilities are enough for both teams. And the Vikings is down. Durance of Hate. There's also the Wrath of the Berserker. Jug of 1,000 Cups. No double dragon in this game, unfortunately. No big surprises when it comes to heroics. But now that the camp is taken, another seed is going to pop up soon. A bit of an idea of maybe even to invade. At least they were sniffing it out. Actually rotating in. They're trying to go for it. Yeah, they're saying hello, and they're invading with everything they have right now. There's immediately the ult being used on Lily, but also Ophia popping hers. Camp is taken. Great play by Oxygen Esports. They're trying to get the kill against Justin too, but they can't. So now the camp has been stolen away. They have to waste some time in order to defeat it, which allows Oxygen to go for the seed and at least take a few of those seedlings down. Maybe channel the entire thing. At the bottom of the map, the party continues as Justin gets attacked again. So yeah, great party here for them. Nicely done. The entire fight also continues as the seed is claimed. They're rotating in with 4 versus 4, and finally Sonya goes down. Hell, it was about time. Sonya goes down, gets crushed here, and the Vikings are still holding on to the top lane, doing whatever they can. Middle of the map, the rotation is now coming in. And yeah, Oxygen, they are slowly but steadily starting to get a really nice foothold on this one. And doing some solid work here. It's 2 kills against 1. It's not like it's a stomp or anything, but steadily they are edging out small advantages over their opponent that force the hand of Wildheart Esports. They are close to the level 13 talent now. They have a seed advantage, and they also have, of course, the global advantage on the map thanks to the Vikings and Brightwing. So there's a couple of tools that they can definitely use. And they are thinking about... Ooh, that was a bit of a bad one. Red Robot's not really his best blessed shield over here. That was a very optimistic one that he threw out. Might have been better used here in the middle, as they're trying to go for Sonya again. And Justin is trying to play Sonya as that main tank setup, thanks to the 2 supports in the backline. Not so sure if that's going to work out. I mean, as the game continues, thanks to the talents she gets, she's obviously going to be way more tanky than previously. But, well, we'll see. So, over here, there's a bit of an attack coming in, as they are going for the first objective. Vikings at the bottom of the map, and Sonya has to react to it. She can't just simply let that pass. Brightwing is now jumping in too, and is doing her thing. And there's the channel. The level 13 talent doesn't make it any easier for Wildheart Esports, since they still don't have theirs. That's why Sonya is still at the bottom of the map. They're interrupting, and they're doing a great job at it. They will definitely delay until 13 is ready. The problem is I'm not sure if they can avoid the objective of being claimed. There's now the virulent infection. So far so good. Another interrupt is coming in. Banana Age needs to stop the channel. Viking is still at the bottom of the map. Top side, they're pushing it out too. They're entire level ahead now. Brightwing gets it, and the objective is taken. Now they just need to get out without dying. It seems like at least, no, my god, no. Are they able to get out? Prismaticism, the kill against Trashwing. The Fruit Fly is down, and Johanna is dead as well. The Vikings are trying to get the pilot, but thanks to Lily and her heals, that's not happening. They're losing 2 heroes, but all the lanes are getting pressured right now. Every single one. Top side, they're attacking. They might be able to save it just barely at the bottom of the map. There's also a lot of damage that has already been done. They're not going to get away with too many of the forts destroyed, but as you can see right here, just taking the walls down is already nice. Top fort has indeed been destroyed. We got 2 of the red team's players sitting there in the middle of the map. They are also still pushing this. The wall has been eliminated. And so far, so good. Fountains are all taken out at the top and at the bot lane. They might be able to get the one in the middle too if they focus it. And that means that there's it's a lot tougher now for Wildheart Esports to sustain any fight anchoring in the middle, because they just don't have that option to fall back and heal up at the fountain any longer. So that's the priority target every single time. In experience, that's a different game though, because that is where the blue team was able to close the gap a little bit thanks to the kills that they got. So there's that. And they're still trying to push this a bit further. Damage output, also, we are sitting at 39,000 for Fia and for Cassia, both of them doing fine, with 31,000 for Mephisto. The Vikings, obviously, with the most siege damage on the red team side, 73,000 in total right now. I'm going to take a closer look also at the experience soak in just a moment for them. But yeah, so they're doing fairly well here. As you can tell, that's currently the minion experience. The Vikings are sitting at 18,000. So yeah, they're definitely bringing the numbers. Nazma's able to run away. Okay. And the rotation down to the bottom as they're trying to hold on to the fort. With Sonya immediately moving in here, but the fight isn't over yet. Nice lockdown by Stukov, but it's not enough since there's no follow-up damage just yet. Vikings are pushing the top lane. Balog is playing the macro game as Cassia at the bottom falls. The team fights are not looking too good for them, but at least they're getting some map pressure in. Olaf is dead too. That level 1 talent just not enough to keep him alive. But top side, Vikings, yep, going for the ult. And that wall is toast, baby. They're gonna get that wall for sure, and they're also going into the middle now. But more heroes are dying. Brightwing is dead again. Brightwing is down, that's Ophia dead, and they are getting crushed bot lane. 6 kills against 3. In the middle of the map though, Fort is soon gonna fall if this continues with the Siege Giants. And up at the top, they're still attempting to take at least the wall down. And one tower has been destroyed, the second one is getting attacked, and they're going for the gate too. So it's starting to get a bit exciting here. Wildheart Esports, as predicted in the early stages of the game, are doing a great job in the team fights, but when we're talking about map control, Oxygen Esports just has the upper hand. Now, D.Va had to retreat to make sure that the top lane doesn't get completely murdered. The gate is still up, barely that is. The Vikings active on the map, and at the bottom, they also lost some structures here. But yeah, the situation, at least structurally speaking, much better for Oxygen Esports still. We're by no means in any position though where a team has a mad advantage right now. But if I would have to bet on one, I would say the red team is looking at a pretty solid position here. Now, with level 16 on the Vikings, that also means that in team fights you're going to unleash way more of your potential by simply dropping that stun on the backline target, for example, and then being able to just do the extra damage. The martial law is also in for some damage increase, so there's definitely a lot of things now going in favor of Oxygen Esports. 55,000 damage on Orphea, chomping away the entire time here. Yeah, Mephisto and Sonya, they just can't keep up with that. They have both 40,000, which isn't bad either. So quite a numbers output that we're seeing from Oxygen Esports again. So fight still continuing over here. Yeah, 6 kills to 3, a little bit of a push through the bot lane potentially, as the Vikings are being assisted by Brightwing, who always can, of course, move in. Again, if you have this draft, what you need to do is you need to play to your strengths. I mean, this is pretty much the thing you gotta do with any draft that you play. Identify, hey, what are we trying to do with this? What is the best way to play it? And obviously, Oxygen Esports is looking at the game and saying, like, guys, listen, if we are just engaging into 5 versus 5 battles the entire time, this is not going to go well for us. We can take a few, but we have to make sure we got a good position first. And why not play to the strengths of our draft and control the map and make Wildheart work for it? If they waste too much time, we get value on the lanes. And we can always jump in with our ults and then play that game. So this is just them buying time, and you can already see how this is paying off, because at the bottom of the map, this is continuing to push, and this is going to do damage, and slowly but steadily you're going to get value here. Now, of course, you need to keep your team alive in the meantime, and that's not happening, because Brightwing is down, Ophia is dead too, and it seems like we could see a kill, and we do, against Cassia too, so yeah, that doesn't make it any easier over here. Yeah, it's a little bit tough now. I mean, the fights, as you can see, they are not going too well for the red team. Now that the objective is also moving in, the one saving grace is that, well, 2 of those seeds or those garden terrors are spawning pretty much on the left side of the map. So you have a lot of time and space where you can take it down. The only dangerous one is the one in the middle that is going over here. So yeah, this is exactly what we're currently seeing. But, well, let's see. At that point, there it is. Yeah, we have already our keep taken, and Wildheart Esports, they're starting to take this game. That's a bit unfortunate. I mean, Oxygen Esports, again, it's totally fine if you're not winning the fights directly, but you can't lose heroes that easily, or you're going to be in trouble. Koa is getting attacked, and that could and should be game. It seems like Wildheart might get the lead. They're losing Stukov, though, 27%. That has to be it. 17. That's game. Good approach from Oxygen Esports initially, but Wildheart winning the decisive fight and then spiraling it towards the core and taking the victory in the first Heroes of the Storm map of this best of 5 series.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game on! Second game! Ah, well, Oxygen Esports, they are behind everybody. They started off well on map number 1, but they lost a few too many fights. Honestly, you don't have to win the fight, but you can't lose multiple 3-4 heroes in a battle where you're just trying to buy time for the rest of your team to get value on the other side of the map. So yeah, that was a little bit of a slip, and Wildheart Esports did exactly what they needed to do. They exploited the mistakes and took them down. On the left side of the map, we got Funds on Deathwing for Wildheart Esports, Buds on Stukov, we got Justin on Maiev, Zergling on Urel, and Unaverted on Mephisto. And on the right side of the map, Oxygen Esports with Mother on Sylvanas, Banana H on Lucio, Nazmaz on Diva, Red Robot on Dibbles, and Prismaticism is playing Tychus in this second game of our Heroes of the Storm series today. So, yeah, let's go. I mean, Wildheart Esports is currently sitting in, I mean, again, they love these weirdo setups. It's one of those moments where it's honestly very, very sad for me that we don't get any international competition anymore in even playing conditions, aka LANs, where you have a couple of Korean, European, and North American teams compete, because I'm honestly curious if the stuff that Wildheart is constantly trying to pull off would work out on an even playing field against international teams. Personally, I kind of doubt it, but it would be fun to see. I mean, generally it would be fun to see some international competition, but yeah, either way. As it stands, the only thing that we have left, especially in times of Corona, is obviously online competition, and then you have to deal with ping, and no matter how you arrange that, it's never going to be in a level playing field, so there will be disadvantages that go to one side or another. Would be kind of cool if some of the NA teams, as I said before, would participate in the Masters Clash, which is the next big tournament on the European server, starting at the end of January, and that's going to last for a couple of months, obviously, since we are starting with open qualifiers. But Masters Clash is going to be quite fun, and they have also very specifically noted that they are welcoming teams from NA and Korea if they are willing to play on the European server. So maybe we have a couple of teams here from the CCL that return the favor after the European players went up against the ping and decide that they are okay to play on the EU server for a little bit. Would be kind of fun to see. Anyways, now that we are heading into game number 2, obviously for Oxygen Esports, the goal has to slowly but steadily bring this series back. They don't want to go down into the losers bracket. The next stop after victory would be the winner bracket final, and that already guarantees you a pretty big chunk of ka-ching, aka pizza money. So level 4 talents on both sides, and well, for now we got the bigger they are in. Also we have with a sudden vengeance right there. And yeah, possession for Sylvanas. And let's see how they're going to play out the first objective. Another 5 seconds, and then we're having the timer activate. So at the 3-minute mark, the first objective topside is going to pop off. This time, by the way, press the advantage. So this is one of the things that's also kind of interesting to see. Prismaticism. I mean, honestly, he was always a player that also went a little bit deep into this, like, ooh, I want to be special stuff. So he is still playing the press the advantage. That sounded a little bit meaner than I actually meant it, so it wasn't really meant that way. So phrased it a little bit strangely. What I was trying to say is that right now, if you're seeing a Tychus, it's pretty much an established thing that the grenade build is just the most effective in taking out the damage. Whereas before grenade build was buffed, it was all about press the advantage, which I personally liked a lot. But he is playing, oh my god, what an escape. And he's playing that style right now again. So he's actually going into an auto attack style with Tychus, which we don't see that much anymore after Blizzard buffed grenades. And that talent is what brought Tychus back in the first place. Because Tychus' problem was always that he doesn't have the attack range. And his grenades weren't that great either. Then Blizzard tinkered around in the first patch with him and gave him press the advantage, which finally remedied that issue. And now we're seeing the grenade build even eclipsing that particular build. But it's kind of cool to have a bit of an auto attack style that should give us sizzling attacks later on, for example. There's a couple of other things that you can play around with too. So yeah, definitely a slightly different approach from what is the norm these days, is what I was trying to say. Now that the objective is up, we have them fighting this one out. We got to hit the Nitrous in, we got the rushdown over here. Diva, of course, is great at just claiming some space, and they're taking the first Punisher easily. As Tychus, interestingly enough, is the one that rotates around against Urel. And now the push straight through the top of the map. The wall is already down, and they should lose a lot here. Deathwing is also losing a lot. There's a Sylvanas in the mix too, so that push is nothing that you should take lightly. They are eating a lot of dirt over here. And that is a fort destroyed, and also Deathwing has a Death Wish. Death Wish, Deadwing turned into Deadwing as he flew in a bit too deep and decided that he would just commit Sudoku over here. Yeah, wish has been granted, so yeah, the honorable math puzzle has been solved. Now that we're having the attack even snowballing towards the wall of the keep itself, that one has taken some damage too. And all of this is happening with simply a single kill, nothing else. So a bit YOLO what we just saw there. Well, maybe Prismaticism wants to be a little bit more special than I expected after all, because he's one of those guys that holds his talent back for like 2 levels. So now we have him with a combat tactician right over here. Maybe he just didn't realize that he didn't take it yet. But yeah, there's a couple of guys that we had in the HTC on the NA side too that always picked their talents as late as they could, being a little bit cool over here. Gone are the days, unfortunately, now where you're holding back talents because you're waiting for an opponent's reaction. That was still the case in, honestly, beta and early game release. Especially every single cleanse hero had to do that when they're going up against the Tyrael. Because at level 7 you get your potential cleanse, but if Tyrael on the other side didn't go Judgment, which back then was more or less standard, but you could also go into Sanctification, then you didn't have to go cleanse. So a lot of the supports back then held their talent back, didn't pick it until level 10, and were waiting for the opponent's hero, for the opponent's tank to make a choice at heroic abilities, and then took their talents. It was honestly funny back then because you had a couple of commentators that just didn't get that and didn't understand it, and were then making fun of the players the entire time, saying like, oh my god, he's still not picking your talent, like how can you not realize that? It's like, well dummy, he's doing it on purpose, guess what? Talk about doing things on purpose. That was a bit of a nice move here in an attempt to get a good combo off, but Red Rover did not quite lock it in with the Apocalypse. We got the drill, by the way. So, yeah, drill is in. Get wrecked! Wildheart Esports shitting on oxygen in this situation. Wow. Absolutely deleting them. Damn, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. That was kind of crazy. Wow. Not bad, not bad. Honestly, that one caught me so off guard that I even forgot to take the Insta replay and put that in, but damn son. They just crushed this one. That was a huge fight for them. Good on them. It felt the entire time like it would be the team in red, you know, that makes a play. But then the exact opposite happens, and they are totally crushing this. Up at the top side, yeah, a bit of an invade. Urel is still going to be fine over here, as you can see. But holy macaroni. That was an explosive play. And now, of course, the problem is that you're already knocking at your opponent's keep wall. So, yeah, you might steal the camp away, but you still have to fall back and deal with that. And there's a shrine activating too, and we have level 13 talents. So, you're falling behind quickly here. That's actually kind of insane. Now, 5 kills to 1, how do you play it out? Do you give up the objective and just say we're not fighting without the level 13? Or you just go in and say fuck it and just simply take the fight? With the disadvantage that you have in an attempt to maybe get the drop on a target while Urel is here. That's of course another play that you can make. Urel is slowly moving over. Oh, and Funds gets crushed a bit. Ooh. Yeah, the bigger they are, baby. That's value right there. Now they're trying to go for my F. Can't quite make that work. 13 still half a level away. Zergling is sitting in the middle. Madara is coming in, trying to connect some easy damage on him, but the blue team hasn't given up on the shrine yet either. There's Mephisto as he moves in. 21 stacks to 16. Okay, explosion value. Also buying a little bit more time, of course. Nice. The drill is still in play, and they are starting to burn. Yeah, Deathwing down a little bit. There's the combo. There's Diablo's ult as they come in with the Apocalypse. Prismaticism, and he gets away. Madara, on the other hand. Oh my god, 15 HP? They save him! No freaking way! No, my god. What a great mind control. Blue team takes the Punisher, but the mind control is in. Check this out. Barely getting out with no HP whatsoever. Great escape by Sylvanas. And then the mind control straight into the towers, and that's a kill against Zergling. So now they were able to take Urel down. D.Va is going to be back. They have the even talent. They're level behind. They still need to deal with the Arcane Punisher. But that could have gone so much worse for them. So they kind of played this out well. Nicely done. Oh, if Sylvanas dies, Urel survives, by the way. So that was really the linchpin right there. And now they can at least defend against this one easily. There shouldn't be... There's no chance they get the key. There's just no chance. Urel is still at the top. So, yeah, there's nothing else that you can do in this situation. Bait it away. Not even a lot of damage on the keep itself. So, nicely done. Well played. Look at the damage output in Tychus, by the way. He's just shredding Deathwing every single time they go into the fight with the bigger they are. Really burning him down there. Prismaticism is trying to do the same thing in the middle of the map now, but of course he has to fall back since he has been facing off against quite a lot of heroes here. Mephisto is also doing a lot of damage, of course, but that's kind of what you would expect in that situation anyways, considering that you're jumping onto the shrine and you get a lot of AoE damage out. Whereas for at least Tychus, most of what we're seeing here is single target damage. So of course a little bit of a difference. But yeah. This might be a little bit more of an even game as expected. Still a big lead, of course, for Oxygen for Wildheart Esports. But now, with that defense and then not falling farther behind, I actually think they can soak the level 16 talent before the next shrine is up. They should have enough time to make that work. If they're splitting out on the lanes, that shouldn't really be a big deal. And of course, then you gotta win the fight, right? Then you need to do a good play. But yeah, first they have to save Prismaticism. Okay, Sylvanas around maybe for... Nah, she's topside. Can't really go for another quick mind control. Wildheart is exploiting the level 16 talent. They're using the level 16 talent now to just aggressively push in. Uh-oh, uh-oh. No! Red Robot is pulling a Lauber and goes down here too. Yeah, that one hurts. Losing Diablo here. Obviously, still a few of the heroes trying to soak experience. You see D.Va in the minimap at the bottom. But boy, are they aggressive now. Wildheart is looking at that 16 and just saying, guys, as long as we have the level 16, just let's crush them. Let's just run them down here. That's exactly what they do. Spray is on point. They steal the camp away. And for Oxygen Esports, the only thing is really just take level 16. Screw the rest, take 16, and then fight on the objective. Now they are forced into another forward, so I have no idea why. Like, they were trying to move towards the top, I suppose, and defend that fort, but they went a bit too aggressive here. Thankfully for them, they didn't lose anybody. Banana H made it out too, so he was able to move away here. But, yep, off we go. Let's see what else we're gonna get here. Sizzling attacks. Yes, talked about this earlier. That's of course what we're seeing here. And now a couple of unstoppable frames also for Sylvanas as she went into the will for the Forsaken. Mind control into the Apocalypse. The attempt. 3 down on the red team. Ah, but they go for counter kills. They get Maiev, they get Deathwing. Can they get more? The drill is still in play, but they lost Lucio, Sylvanas, and they also lost Diablo again. So, I don't know. The kills are really coming. 11 kills to 4 now. Just one big play after another here. And Wildheart Esports is just stepping it up at this point. Looking pretty great, honestly. That's a 1-level lead. They still have a 3 versus 2 situation on the map. And the objective is up. Yeah, with Urel at the front, Mephisto and even one of the supports. That's not a bad spot to be in by any means. It's actually a really good spot if we're talking about it. Because right now you're looking at a setup where you still might have a chance to go straight in for the objective here. Your opponent is back with 5 on the map, but of course there's a bit of travel time to account for too. Diablo doesn't have a lot of souls yet either. He's at 28. So it's not like he has an easy time there. Not bad. Wildheart is looking pretty decent here. They're doing well with the setup that they're playing. Can they lock this one in though? That would be a big one. Because now you have a chance to even get the level 20, depending on how long this fight lasts. Yeah, Red Robot, careful. Trying to push out, gets pushed back in by Urel. But Circling is about to go down. So is Diablo though. Both of the frontliners are already gone. 4 versus 4 situation. We still got Diva. Yeah, Pilot moves out. But they are fighting for this. And the problem is that at the bottom of the map, the keep is going to get murdered now. That keep is gone. There's no way of saving that anymore. That ship has sailed. So, top side is what really matters. But now we have level 19 already in the hands of Wildheart Esports. They are looking better by the minute here. I mean, damn. Yeah, here comes another attempt at potentially setting up a combo or something. Nazmas goes deep in the attempt to take my F down. That didn't work out. They try to play this out. Keep bot lane has been gone down. There's the kill against the hate boy. What's his face? Not Medivh. I hate Medivh too, don't get me wrong. And he's a very hateful person as far as I know. But that's not the one that I'm talking about. Mephisto, there we go. That's the name that I was looking for. Deadwing is also dead again. True to his name. And, well, top side seems like the red team is finally able to bring us back. Slowly but steadily. Coming in, taking the stacks here. And, yeah, Diablo is saying, boys, there's catapults at the bottom of the map. I'm not going to get winioned in this game. Ah, look at this. At least someone he can push around a bit. Diablo is a natural born bully. NBB. Now, 20 is just around the corner. And damage numbers, obviously, climbing for Tigers compared to the rest of the team because of the bigger they are. We also got 61,000 for Mephisto. And yeah, with 39 stacks. I mean, again, if you're not aware of this, they keep it at 39 because they want to get the team into a position where they can take some camps, where they can soak experience, push the lanes out. They're keeping one hero close that can easily take the last stack. So the blue team is eventually going to move in, is trying to take some and force their hand. But the idea here is for Oxygen Esports to buy as much time as they possibly can before they get the Punisher, just so that they can catch up in experience. That's the reason why you're waiting sometimes. Because you want to close the gap, because you want to take some camps. If you have gotten kills previously against your opponent, you can make those plays. And as you can see, it results in them grabbing a level 20. So now they have also the Bob and Weave over here. We got the Summer Anthem, and that allows them to potentially push now for keep and maybe even go a little bit further, which wouldn't have been possible if they didn't have the level 20 talent. So, yeah. Ah, well, and the keep is kind of the minimum that they should get here. It's already pushing through. Yeah, a lot of space to work with, honestly. And that's also a Frozen Punisher, which is the best thing that you can happen to you. They also have Sylvanas on top of that, so that keep doesn't make any moves at all. And now just the question of, do you go a little bit deeper or not? And I guess the answer is... Nope. Exactly, so they're moving away from it. 13-7. A little bit of a drill play in the middle, and the barbecue drill is there. But yeah, let's go. There's the explosion now too. Drill is alive for a little bit longer because of that, and they get a tower. They're trying to take those walls down. It's kind of even again. Look at the minimap. It's the same situation on structures. Oh, that mind control. Yeah, they would have gotten a kill against Medivh, Mephisto. The other guy with him. Then that would have been pretty awesome for them. But not quite. Okay. Alrighty, so let's see. Red Robot. Let's see what he can do with this. 13. He needs to find a target. He found one. Found him. Going for circling. Oh, choke point. Apocalypse. There it is. That's a potential play. Deathwing is dead. Can they get more? They are going for the camp, and now all of a sudden it seems like the tides could turn in Oxygen Esports' favor. Yeah, there it is. 8 kills to 14, closing the gap slowly but steadily. 64,000 damage for Tigers, the Renegade. Who needs Odin? Going full drill on this one. Prismaticism. 0 deaths against Stukov, by the way. The only one that hasn't died a single time yet. Yeah, IF. Justice jumping out again, okay. But they won't keep number 2. Yeah, they can push in with this now. And the drill is going to be back in another 6 seconds too. Should have gone for the drill upgrade. I mean, if you already go drill, then you might as well go all the way. Screw bob and weave. Take the punches like a man, baby. And real man drill deep. If StarCraft 2 taught us one thing, then it's that. Using it as a... No, a little bit farther away. So they're starting to drill the keep. Bot lane for the blue team is pushing, so keeps catapults, careful. Gotta keep an eye on those. Yeah, Red Robot is on the run. And they're so close. Honestly, it really feels like this game could just turn on a dime. You make one good fight happen and then you can just go for core. Both of them have now opened up opportunity to take the game after a victory in the team fight. Now over here, got Madara taking the wave down, taking those catapults apart, and really has to. But this is the objective, and this is likely going to be the last one. The funny thing is actually that both of the teams still have keeps in the middle of the map, so if you take it, win isn't really guaranteed yet, but if you just take the team fight, you can move on to the lane and take the game there. Diablo has fully stacked, so good for him. And yeah, what else do we get? Because this is likely going to be the last battle. Do we have catapults pushing something? Not really. I mean, D.Va even took the camp at the bottom of the map. That's supposed to relieve some of the bot lane pressure. She takes another catapult down any second now, which is going to be important. So you shouldn't be worried about the bot lane too much. And it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But here comes the play for Diablo, maybe? No, not quite. Hero was also sitting at the front. Top lane camps are colliding, but that's not a problem because Oxygen Esports has a catapult advantage on the top lane. It's all about the middle of the map now. It's all about the objective. There's the tether. Looking for some combos. Can they get something? So far, it's not really the case. He has already been used there. Nasmas is trying to get away. Ult on Urel. Yeah, our buttons are getting pressed, baby. Dibbles is down, and there it is. The double kill. Easy peasy. They try to go for more. Deathwing at least dies, and that's the end of the pilot. Nicely done. The fight over here, not quite over yet. Diablo's back to business. He had the souls fully stacked. Here's the Apocalypse as he tried to zone them out a little bit. But they need kills, and they can't get him. It's a 4 versus 3, but they gotta fight him. I mean, there's no other way. You gotta take that battle. Problem is, it's not looking good, is it now? They're looking for a quick kill. Yeah, Madara with the attempt, jumps out, barely alive, but he makes it. They're giving up on the objective though. Yeah, that was the start into the fight right there. I mean, especially as they re-engaged into the battle, they got the first few kills set up. The Durance of Hate was just absolutely pitch perfect. It was a really good combo again, and that allowed them to get the initial kills, and now they have the chance to push through the middle and take another keep down. So right here, make your play. Wildheart Esports against Oxygen Esports. We got a chance for a 2-0 lead in this best of 5. Both teams aiming for the grand final, for the, well, winner bracket final of the Heroes of the Storm tournament. And we go again for Dibbles, who has no souls left. I mean, he's at 11, has nothing. It's absolutely nothing. There's a bit of a bait happening here. Banana H is already low and has to back off immediately. 5 versus 5 now. Deathwing is jumping in. Punisher still with the action. This is not looking good. A kill against Diablo to kick the fight off. And Wildheart Esports with 18 kills to... Exactly. Doubling the kill count of the red team. Keep is down. There was keep number 2. And now they're starting to go straight in for the core. Dibbles down for another 45. But Deathwing. Hello? Deathwing down. Sylvanas pays with her life for the kill. Prismaticism, he's also toast. Goodbye, Tigers. Both of the damage dealers gone. We still got D.Va, but the core shields are falling. And so is D.Va herself. The pilot gets tethered back in. A bit of B-steps here from Buds too as they celebrate the victory. Slap, slap, slap as the game is over. And that's a 2-0 lead for Wildheart Esports, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done. Great performance so far in this best of 5 series. Time for game 3, potentially the last map in this best of 5 Heroes of the Storm series. We got Wildheart Esports with a 2-0 lead over Oxygen Esports, and well, let's see what we get. We have first of all Untitled on the left side with Cassia, we got Zergling on Dehaka, Funz on Deathwing, Buds on Deckard Kane, and Justin on Zeratul. Apparently, even after watching Cure adapting to the European Zeratul style, he still doesn't like it and seems to be going for that Cleave Void Prison over the Might of the Narazim. Maybe we're reading a little bit too much into the level 1 talent, but so far at least it's looking that way. The red team with Madara on Abathur, we got Nazmaz on D.Va, Red Robot on Varian, Varian combo, with Banana H on Lucio and Prismaticism on Tychus. I mean, honestly, after the buffs, I really like Varian in the meta for a good sniper comp. It's just a little bit weird to see him with Stukov, with Lucio as a support. Normally you want to have Stukov in that situation, or Malfurion, a couple of others that you could play around with as well. So that's a bit odd. The Abathur alone is going to help him quite a bit on the other hand, to be more aggressive at the front, and could be kind of cool to see. But it's of course also a really nice counterplay against Zeratul whenever he wants to make a play for the backline. If you get that taunt connected, then you can easily take that one down. So yeah, that's something that we can watch out for as well as the game continues. Dehaka at the top is gonna yeah, Dehaka is gonna try and eat the worm. So whenever Madara pops up on the middle of the lane in an attempt to body soak some of the experience, we can bet your ass that Dehaka is gonna make a play for him. Or at least try to. Time will tell. Now we have already the advantage on level 1, so for now Prismaticism is following with the same build that he played in previous Tigers games. It's kind of weird to see Drill, honestly. Drill is just a strange talent to take. Odin is so incredibly powerful that every time I see Drill, it's just like, it's kind of fun, you know? Because how much do you see Drill, right? Not a lot. Problem is, you don't see it a lot for a reason. It's not really the best talent to take here. And back in the days, there were a lot of reasons why you would take Drill, because you wouldn't get a lot of value out of Odin since you went in the rhythm, and then you needed to try and get some value out of that too. But these days, it's not really that much the case anymore that you see that build in the first place, and then Drill alone is also not as effective as it was back then in combo with those talents. I mean, Tigers has been reworked over and over and over again over the last 5 years. And yeah, it's kind of strange to see that happen. But Prismaticism seems to like it, so let's see. Didn't work out on the last map for them, but well, could well work out here if they combo well around the lineups here with Red Robot and his taunt. And they're going for stacking this time, so in the rhythm is at least played out. Red Robot needs to be a bit careful here as he gets stunned out by Deathwing. But Abathur is also going for the pressurized glance. We got the adrenal overload over here, so you got the increased attack speed. Not whacking away, so we're not going to see any meme blades or anything like that. But as predicted, Justin is going for that Cleave build, and normally what comes with that Cleave build is also the Void Prison on level 10. Now, I've been talking a lot about Zeratul and different builds, and I highlighted especially Cure, who has picked up on the European playstyle with Zeratul now. Now, you don't see a lot of Europeans play Zeratul in the CCL, and the reason is pretty simple. I mean, it's literally just a ping disadvantage. It's nearly impossible to play Zeratul on a high level when you have a constant ping of 120 to 150. But if you, for example, watched Meta Madness, then you've seen them come back with those Zeratul plays and how incredibly insane good players can play that hero. Cure has done a very, very great job adapting to the European style and has played that out in the last 2 matches that they played, and boy did he murdered, especially in the game where he had a double support to back him up, which allowed him of course to be way more aggressive. Shots are now fired on both sides, but that leaves us with a single altar at the top left, and normally early altars, especially in that position, are taken by the red team, so it seems like, sorry, by the blue team, so blue team should walk away with it, but instead it's the red team that was able to invade the entire thing and has now taken an advantage over their opponent here. So it's kind of a wacky start into this. Traditionally it's a top left, top right exchange and then the fight over the bottom altar, not so in this game. But yeah, kind of need to see. 27 stacks already for Prismaticism. That's of course one of the cool things about this, that you are in a spot where you have... I mean, you have a situation right now where you have Lucio that can speed you up so that you can get the full value out of a minigun charge after you activated your trade. That allows them to make some more plays here. The Combat Tactician is in again, so they got that. Top side, this is where the Haka is currently still trying to play this out a bit more. Obviously, the global advantage goes, I mean, to an extent over to the blue team. You still have Abathur on the other side. I guess the only question is if Abathur is this time really going for the copy, or if we're going to see that weird setup where they go for the monstrosity again. They picked Monty over and over and over again on the on the NA side, which is also really, really strange. And most of the time, it ended up with the monstrosity pretty much having 0 value. I think there was a single game where the ult got some value, but not even a lot. So I hope that this time we're going to get a copy set up here from Oxygen Esports, but we'll see. I mean, level 10 abilities are just 1.5 levels away, roughly. It's not going to take too long. Yeah, there's the play. Could go for a proper taunt. Nah. Prismaticism is sitting at 44 stacks. It's not bad. I mean, 44 stacks this early, you can really tell that they have some really nice tools to help him get those stacks for the level 4 talent, and namely that is the speed boost from Lucio and of course the taunt and variant. So if you coordinate and communicate with your teammates, that makes it very, very easy to get good stacks together. And that's exactly what they're doing. Now, we're on level 9 and the next altar is now up on the map. This could be one of the longer fights here. 50 stacks by now for Prismaticism. Early stacking is important. It's a little bit similar to what I've been talking about on the amateur level, where Asmodan is getting played, that early on you need to do a great job and then the rest flows very, very easily. But yeah, he is doing some work here. Went early into the overkill though and tried to get some damage out there, but they zone them out and it allows them to go for the channel. Yeah, problem is that Deathwing is of course an absolute pain in the ass. More interrupts, yep, playing it out a little bit further. Top sides are getting pushed, and oh my god, like, that interrupt potential on that hero is just so incredibly annoying. It's brutal. Here come the level 10 abilities. Let's see if we see a couple of surprises. Ones that the red team is also getting the heroic abilities. A bit more coming together here. As we have the drill, and they go for Monty again. Monty the Monstrosity is picked once more. Let's see if maybe this time they're going to get some value out of this. But that is one of those things on the NA side that I will just not understand. It's so weird. Not realizing how incredibly strong a good copy play can be. The Haka, he's down. Great start into the fight for Oxygen Esports. Yeah, good for them. Abathur is also still sitting top side, okay. But that would give them an even bigger lead now by 8 points. Deathwing thought it was a great idea to move in for that, and then he was met by the minigun. He was like, yeah, maybe not. Okay, so there we go. 28 to 36. There we have it. And, well, let's see. They're starting to go for the cams, invading them too. There's a small advantage. Top side, Monty is getting pushed out. Or pushes this out slowly. Let's see if they keep him alive this time. Come on, Abby. You can do it. Yeah, there's Abathur. Alright, this time saving him at least, trying to stack it up. That's what you need to do if you really want to play that properly. I mean, I went over this the last couple of times they picked it. The problem that you have as an Abathur player is if the monstrosity doesn't stack properly, you're not going to get a lot of value out of it. So you have to babysit it the entire time, go full Tamagotchi on it, and now it gets killed again. It's also faster than the minion wave, so if you just leave it at the top lane or at any lane by itself and you don't take care of it, then it will surpass the minion wave and then run straight into the opponent's minions, take all the damage and die early. So you have to constantly babysit it and push it back a little bit so that it doesn't overtake the wave and can use it as a shield to do damage. But yeah, that objective is also going to reduce your teamfight powers a bit. Then again, you still have the symbiote to play around, so Abathur has value, but I don't think you're going to see that trend get picked up by the Europeans anytime soon. Either way, for now we got Funds over here still helping out at the bot lane defense, because you kind of want to make sure that you don't lose control of that. There's 2 pumpkin camps that are focusing on the bot lane, so you can't lose that. Void Prison, by the way, has also been taken. So again, but let's see what we're going to get now that level 13 talents are kicking in, because this is double all that is going to pop up any moment. And Oxygen Esport has a tiny advantage. It's not a big one, but it could just be enough to force a fight on 13 talents. We're already having Deckard Cain with the channel, and now they should be able to fight for the one up here in the middle. 13 talents are there. Soma Transference is there for him. Neo's still coding too. And that's something you don't want to fight if you're the blue team. You don't want to fight that battle, I can tell you that much. They still get the kill though. Am I for real? Varian goes down and they win the battle against the level 13 talent. Now obviously now that they pick Varian off, they have their own level 13 that they can use. Abathar is still pushing all the way up at the top. Has also summoned Monty again, but well, Monty, as you can see, is starting to overtake the minion wave and is now gonna take some damage soon if it doesn't move it back. But Abathar is this time paying attention to the top, so that's nice. Justin is jumping away on Zeratul. The fight isn't over yet by any means, and Varian is gonna be back in another second. Deathwing is down, nicely done. They're taking it after all. If they can interrupt Buds again, that would be kind of great. Yeah, red team needs to at least win one of them, and the top is going down. Top is in mad trouble at this point. This one is gone. Dehaka, he would have been the one to deal with it, but that didn't happen. So now the bell tower is taken, and they are losing out on the altar too. So that's 5 shots fired. Well played. Nicely done. Ah, well, actually, there's an interrupt. Can interrupt again. Dehaka, yeah, he's not going to be in there in time. Motherfucking Deathwing. I mean, honestly, that thing is just such a pest. So there's the interrupt again. They go for the double channel now, and he won't be able to do anything about that. Not for too long, though. But yeah, they have to just wait this out. That is one of those things with Deathwing where it's just, like, insane. Anyways, 5 shots are getting fired, so they delayed it, but they couldn't prevent it. 23 to 32 points. Top side circling is trying to slowly take this back now, too. And, well, let's see what else we're going to get. Another cap is taken, so that's good. Middle of the map seems like he's going to try to take Monty down. Zeratul, yeah, Protoss players, that's what they do. They hunt the Zerg. And it worked for him in this case. 2 kills to 2. We have a lead in experience. Oxygen Esports playing a bit of a better game now. Of course, they want to make it happen. The reverse sweep. Big objective. There's the taunt. And a bit more damage done as they're trying to go for buds. But Deckard Cain is waddling away. Slowly but steadily. The Haka is now trying to reclaim the top. But that also allows the rest of the team to be aggressive at the bottom of the map, obviously. And with Varian having his taunt back, if he gets another chance to go for Cassia, that's potentially a dead Valkyrie there. Now the top has been reclaimed. The Haka has done a great job here. We have 158 stacks now for Tychus. Again, Prismaticism is in a great spot. He has Deathwing that he can chase, which is super easy for him. He has the taunt to follow up on. He has also Lucio who can speed him up. So the stacks on his level 4 are super easy to accumulate. There's no problem for him with that at all. The sizzling attacks are now in on level 16. So they're doing great on that end. And you also have now the envenomed spikes, so there's a bit of a slow that you can apply too. So there's a lot of tools that we're seeing come in that help Tychus stack, and he's already so far gone that he doesn't even need it anymore. It's just for the memes at this point. They're dropping Cassia. Yeah, and there's the drill already up, but blue team still wants to fight for it. They won't want to give it up. Buds might be in some trouble. No, he's still able to make it back, but he's getting drilled pretty hard actually, and has to move away immediately. Fight isn't quite over yet, but we still have an altar here, and the bell tower at the bottom could still be converted, and as they're taking the Haka down, the chances for that happening are increasing. Oxygen Esports, they are jumping onto the momentum train and are starting to take that. Yeah, 185 stacks are in. That's the bell tower taken. Should also wait that out, and well, there we go. 4 shots fired because he didn't wait. That could have been 1 more shot fired against the blue team. So yeah, normally would have expected him to start the channel, interrupt it and restart it, but yeah, he was a second or 2 off. So let's hope for them that that doesn't come back to bite them in the ass at the end of the game, because we've seen more than 1 game that went down to the last 1 or 2 points. So let's hope for them that's not the case here, because they could have gotten a 5th shot out of this quite easily. Either way, now of course the bottom bell tower is going to be, I mean, it's going to be an effort made by Wildheart Esports to reclaim that thing again. They got to. Nearly 200 stacks now for Tychus, and well, here we go. Another play being made in the middle as they're trying to push this out. Monty is up at the top. Again, needs to be careful that it doesn't overtake the minion wave too hard. At the bottom of the map, Dehaka has taken care of that. And the blue team is active in the middle. Monstrosity at the top has so far not taken the damage, so they can take this. And, yep, now we're also having good old Abathar helping out too. And of course, an important one is also the network Carapace over here. That level 7 talent is allowing him to give the extra shields over to the wave. And if you have the lane completely left to its own vices, then that does some real work. So yeah, moving Monstrosity back. Monstrosity work is a little bit better this time than what we've seen the last few times that Zeratul was, Abathar was played here. So that's good for them. They retake the bot lane. Up at the top, that's still some damage. Yeah, Monty goes down, but they're collapsing into the middle now. And they're really making the work for the defense here. It's tough to hold any of this. It's actually really, really tough. Circling, careful. Yeah, there's a setup with the Void Prison in the back. Drill comes in, Unaverted is in trouble. Unaverted, he nearly got drilled there, but it's Lucio who dies first. It's a triple altar phase, and Abathar could honestly, he could snag one. And he does exactly that, burrowing down to the bottom, helping the team out. Zeratul is dead. They're trying to go for Deckard K now too. Butts is about to go down. He's dead. Nicely done. The Slug, ooh, with the big boy slaps as they're getting 5 shots fired against the opponent's core. And now they can try to go for the big boy triple and make sure that they're dropping Wildheart Esports down into the single digits. There's the attempt now. There's the play. Yeah. Another 5 as the top right has been challenged. 9 points on the core. Honestly, if they get this one too, they could end with boss. If they get another kill and they grab that, they could end with boss. Abathar is even body soaking at the bottom of the map a little bit. Doesn't have to anymore and burrows away since they have level 20. But now since they have the level 20 talent, there's the challenge. Can they retake that in time? No, they cannot. And now you can go for boss. Lucius is going to be back faster than Deckard Cain. Technically, they could try it. Yeah, but Deathwing is actually interrupting again, isn't he? Yeah, there they got it. It's only 4 shots fired. Yeah, you see, that's the difference. Like, chances are still that they're winning. This is 32 points against 5, but do you see the difference here? If they would have waited earlier, a little bit longer with the channel on this altar and gotten the 5 shots out of that wave instead of the 4, they would have the opponent now down at 4 points, which means that boss ends the game. Now they don't have that as a pressure play on the same level. Does it matter? Given the points on the core, probably not. But this is one of those things that can really come back to haunt you. So right now, there's the conversion of the Belter at the bottom. They can escort the pumpkins through. That would also help. Level 20 will soon be ready. Zeratul is still dead for another 40 seconds. That's a bit of a disaster. And there's already the drill to zone them out even further. Pumpkins, no connect. 1 down. Actually, yep, there's the kill. Ooh, that's 2 connects. Boss is up and Cassia is down. That should be game. Nicely done. Oxygen Esports trying to initiate the reverse sweep over here. If they can, that's a different question, but it seems likely that at least in game number 3 they're locking in a victory on Towers of Doom. Right now, there's the play. Dehaka is dead. They're picking up the kills wherever they want now. It's 9 kills to 3. The old man is the only one that is still trying to defend it. Deathwing is jumping in and attempting to help out too. But let's face it, it's just a desperate Hail Mary attempt. There's absolutely no chance this is happening. Look how Deathwing gets burned down. This is gonna be game. Shots are fired. And, well, Zeratul still tries to contest it. That didn't work the way he intended either. And that is game. Deckard Cain gets also attacked. 5-man wipe, baby, as the game is over and Oxygen Esports gets a little bit closer to a potential participation in the winner bracket final. Game number 4, Wildheart Esports against Oxygen Esports, and it's double support time again. Or main tank Uther, depending on what you wanna, how you wanna look at it. Well, it's not quite main tank. I mean, they have Justin again on Sonya. They played this very similar style earlier, where they have a double support behind it and try to make that work. It was originally Garden of Terror where they made the play. Got a bit of a yeah, honestly, they got their ass handed to them in the early game, but then later on they just murdered. So now we have Funds and Uther for the blue team, Zergling on Urel, Unaverted on Mephisto, Justin on Sonya, and Butts on Malfurion. And Oxygen Esports, they won the last map, so a good start to put the name onto the scoreboard, but they need to do a bit more if they want to move on to the winner bracket final. Nazmaz on Rexa, we got Red Robot on ETC, Banana H on Deckard Kane, Madara on Hanzo, and Prismaticism is playing Li Ming in game number 4. Slam build, of course, for Sonya. We got on Immortal damage. I mean, it's mainly Hanzo. They're already sitting here in the middle, hoping, of course, for someone making a lane rotation and then catching him off guard. Not really happening here, but yeah. Let's see if someone can get an easy kill in against the opposition or not. I kind of doubt it a bit. We got the Force Armor on level 1. Now, obviously, it's all going to be about the continuous poke damage during stalemates in particular that we're going to look out for. But yeah, time will tell on where this exactly is headed. Now again, guys, as usual, big shout out to everybody that is supporting the channel. You guys are making the coverage here, the esports coverage in Heroes possible. I mean, let's be honest, Blizzard abandoned Heroes already, so it's not really like there's a lot that we still have there. Other games are definitely a little bit bigger than that at this point, but still, we love the game, so thanks a lot for the support and helping to keep the esports coverage here alive. Wouldn't be possible without you. If you guys want to support the channel, check out patreon.com/Khaldor. And again, big shout out, very much appreciated to everybody that already does that, so thanks a lot, guys. Now that the camps are being fought over, we got our little battle at the bottom of the map, and Urella's rotated in. The interesting part is that actually, at the top side, we got Nazma still waiting this out, okay, pushes the lane in and then starts to attack, but they need, yeah, okay, that is. I was just about to say, they need someone else to rotate over together with him because there's no chance that he is taking that on his own. Once that Urella is done, she's gonna move in, and, well, it's Li Ming that moved in for it. But she's abandoning him a little bit. Prismaticism is now finally coming back in, and they're trying to get the damage here connected. There's a stun already. Circling is able to hop off quite easily, but of course now that 2 heroes are topside, the blue team has realized right away that they have the numeric advantage at the bottom of the map and has started to move in at the bottom of the map now. So the plays are here. Red Robot gets attacked there quickly, but again, there's no kills here. This is really early skirmishes. Sometimes you see a kill happening, but there's not enough CC around, honestly. I mean, ETC maybe with a good slide would be able to put someone into trouble, but so far it's just the normal early ganks, nothing too crazy. Trumpeter level 4, as usual, shielding potion. Hunter-Gatherer, still worthy to point that out, since Nazmaz is trying to go for the globe quest, which of course means that it's going to be a little bit tricky for him to get all of those. They're not as much on lane and can rotate between them to take them. So if you win the objective, that helps you. But if you don't, then it's going to take quite some time for you to complete your level 4 quest. So yeah, it reduces the value a little bit. Also the Strangling Vines now on level 4. So, sorry, the Vengeful Roots on level 4. So we're going to see some broccoli stacks coming together, and the objective is up. And right now, while Esports doesn't really care about it, they still have their double support down here, and they're starting to push that in and start to take down that fountain. Nicely done. We talked in the past how important these fountains are. Good lockdown against ETC, and now they're just sliding away here. But with the fountain gone, that's great. That's the lane sustain already gone, and they don't give a shit about that Immortal. Big dude with a sword, who cares? Instead, they're coming in and saying, hey, that keep looks great. Let's take it down. Let's crush that thing. Destroy, destroy, destroy. Yeah, Prismaticism was poking away a little bit at the Immortal. Not really too much, okay? This is exactly the position where you have to decide whether you want to take the damage with the objective or if you're willing to throw one of the heroes in front of it. Bit of a B-step action here too. Someone feels confident, it seems. Level 7 talents are still half a level away. But they did well already. If the blue team now also wins the objective, that would be a disaster. I mean, look at that bot lane. That thing has suffered. So if now you're already also losing out on the objective, that would just be a nightmare. And there's Justin already with this Sonya moving topside a bit, but running straight into Rexa, so not making any big plays yet. Now let's not forget about Hanzo, who can also slowly Hanzo that one down. Yeah, quest is completed too for him. Nice. They got the halftime nearly. There's a level 7 talent though for the blue team, but they're not doing anything towards the objective. They need to win fights. They have, like, the setup that we're seeing for the blue team. If you compare, like, ideas behind the draft, ooh, good kill. then you can really quickly see that with all the poke against the Immortal with Li Ming and Hanzo, it's just a much better race potential for Oxygen Esports whenever it comes to a straight-up Immortal battle. But when it comes to a team fight, that's a bit of a different story. Wildheart is forced to fight team fights because they have jack shit damage on the Immortal. I mean, they got some with Sonya, you know, but it's not like they have a hero that is particularly amazing, like Jimmy with Exterminator and can burn it down quickly. So they want a team fight. They have the double support too, which means that they have a lot of sustain in their setup. So the entire gameplay is really running around them trying to take fights and winning them. Zergling has to jump out too. They bought a bit of time for Sonya, but it's still a kill against Urel as Hanzo connects it, so they do a bit more damage here, but they lose it. Now, it's not a big shield, and honestly, for the early game, that's not too bad. Oh my god, Uther is there too? Yeah, he got kind of lost. For a second, I'm like, yeah, he belongs there. And I was like, wait, no. So, yeah. Either way, point is, the shield isn't big. But, again, next Immortals, that's going to be a bit of a different story. Once the level 10 abilities are in, we're talking about a different ball game here. And it might not be as easy for Oxygen Esports to get the damage connected on the Immortal. And this one is still going to be fairly easy to defend. So I would be surprised if they're losing too much here. As you can see, the shield is already burned down. Now, are they going to take damage at the fort? Yes, of course. Is the entire thing going to get destroyed? Probably not, especially now that Sonya arrives at the scene of the crime too. So, slight advantage and experience for Oxygen Esports, but you look at the minimap and you can tell that even at the bot lane, the advantage in structure still is in the hands of Wildheart Esports, thanks to the early damage that they did to the opponent's fort, fountain, and wall. So now that we are slowly getting level 10 abilities, it's also worthy to note that Echo Paddle has been taken. So with Echo Paddle, I mean, oftentimes they try to get a bit more damage for a potential side lane job. I highly doubt that he's going to go for that. Stage dive is normally what you then see with that. You're going stage dive, you're going side lane. But in this case, no matter how many interrupts you have up against you, I would be kind of shocked if we're not seeing him going for the party time. First of all, he's going down. That's the first thing that happens. So, yep. That's the next thing. Right now, we also have the level 10 abilities coming through. There's the Divine Shield, and it's time to party hard. Durance of Fate is in. That fort is obviously gonna get roasted. Minion Wave takes it down already. Red team gets their own level 10 any second, and then we're gonna see if there's any surprises. I don't expect any. He goes stage dive. He does it. He actually goes stage dive. So, what's the play here? Hanzo arrow into stage dive, Deckard Kane set up into stage dive. Like, what's the play gonna be with this? Li Ming is waiting this. What? What? Are you serious? Disintegrate against a non-Nuburak team? Yeah, arrow, nice. They get Malfurion, they get Mephisto. And they're still trying to get the kill against maybe Uther here. Stage dive is in. There's a triple kill. Nicely done. 3 kills are in. They're going to get a 4th. Maybe they're going to get a 5-man wipe on top of this too. That fight didn't really turn out the way that they intended. Not at all. But yeah, so there we go. Funz is on the run, but he might fall here too. And that's of course a big Immortal opportunity now. 6 kills to 4. Now, I can make some arguments for the stage dive, but disintegrate? Like, what the hell? I mean, no wave of force for the playmaker potential over here, and instead disintegrate, which pretty much delivers a self-stun? That is more than a bit weird. I mean, that is out there. Normally, you only see that talent when there's a Nuburak on the other side and you want to trade against the Cocoon. Stage dive, I don't know. I think pretty much most people would have played a mosh pit here, but you can make arguments for a stage dive and cut them off a little bit. We've seen that before. It's not really totally crazy. But that disintegrate, I mean, what the hell? Like, that makes 0 sense. I'm very curious if that's gonna work out for them, and my initial response would be no. Now, they got the team fight afterwards, but they have only won the halftime show. So let's see if Wildheart can bring this one back. I mean, Wildheart's draft is also, as usual, a little bit wild. That's what they're known for. Li Ming is dead. Yeah, so she's down. That was a quick one. We're going to go into a stun over here. Now, can they bring this one back? Sonya is trying, but they're still going for Misha now first and foremost. There's still a camp pushing at the bottom of the map too. So that's another thing. If there's a bit more time bought, then that camp might allow them to push onto the keep wall, which would be great for them too. And, well, there we go. There's the attack against Zergling. Yeah, they're zoning them out quite a bit. And over here too. Alrighty, let's see. But, well, let's have a little bit of a look at what exactly they can pull off with that. There it is. A little bit of a hit. Prismaticism. Prismaticism is playing Liming. Okay, that explains a lot. I honestly didn't catch that. Yeah, as I said, Prismaticism is always a bit special with these builds. This explains a little bit more what we're seeing at Disintegrate in a normal game. And again, no top player. Like, I haven't seen a top player play Disintegrate outside of facing off against Nubarak in 4 or 5 years now. So, I don't know. Now, top side, we got the quick kill against Rexa. He's down. Like, the playmaker potential of Way Over Force is just way too great. You can do way too much with that thing. You can prep so many kills for your team. You can position, you can interrupt, you can disrupt plays. It's like, on a top level, it's out of this world. Especially on a lower level, Disintegrate, of course, gets played a bit more, but outside of that, it's really not a thing. So, now, top side, Red Robot, he dove in so that he can at least counterplay Sonya a bit, and they're not losing out on the fort immediately. The Immortal gets still taken out. It's 1-4 taken down on each side yet, so it's pretty much the same play right now. But let's see a little bit of what exactly they can do with that. And with same play, I mean like the same situation in terms of structures. They got the same setup. We have the fort destroyed by the blue team initially. They haven't won an Immortal yet, so they're still struggling. But that's exactly what I pointed out as the game started, that their composition doesn't have a lot of Immortal damage. They have to go for the team fights. This is the way they're winning the game, if they do. That they go for team fights, take those, and then afterwards clean up the Immortal and take it. Good stacking also for Rexa. He's sitting at 20 now. Yeah, here comes the play again. Alright. Yeah, they're trying to lock them down with the boars, already unleashed. So far, not happening. Double support is obviously keeping them alive too. Let's see what else we're gonna get. We have 14 stacks for ETC on the level 1, so 2 of them went for the Globe talent. Sonya is still a little bit split from the team, and Zergling eating quite a bit of the damage here too. But, well, with 1 level of an advantage, the blue team is forced to make some plays. They need to become a little bit aggressive. They need to come in, try to make a bit of action happen, force the fight before the talent comes through, or go up against the talent advantage, which isn't unheard of in these games here in the CCL either, but it's still a bit crazy. You're really rolling the dice if you do that. But time will tell. Now on the damage output, we got Hanzo with 48,000, doing fairly well here. The poke obviously hurting, tons. Half a level to 16. And Wildheart Esports still sitting tight here and just saying, guys, let the Immortal come. I don't know if they got enough time. It seems to me more and more that they are going up against the level 16 talent. Now they're starting to lock in on Nazmaz a bit, and they're even wrapping around with Sonya at the top, but I don't think they can get him. And look how far he's actually moved back. Are you trolling me? There's the kill. They must have thought like, wait a second, what? So yeah, that thing nearly survived. Anyways, there's the level 16 talents now, and we also get the Fireflies here instead of the Mirror Ball. Alright, Fireflies are in. Outside of that, the Feigned Death as usual. The Heroic Staff is in too after the Ancient Blessings. It's time to party, so how do you play this out? You gotta defend the top lane first. Sonya is already on the way. And the bigger question is now, of course, what else are you gonna do? The arrow is in. There we go. Nice. And the halftime show is nearly lost. They have no Immortal damage, and they can't sit tight because both ults overlayered. Uther ults with a Divine Shield and Urel, but they get the kill! They get the kill against the old man, and they save Sonya! Nice! 5 kills to 8, they're a little bit closer to level 16 now. It comes at a price, as topside fort is about to fall. They might be able to save it for now, but of course you just cough at that thing later. With Corona or without, doesn't matter, and it's going to crumble. So if Li Ming gets just a bit close, then it's gonna be eliminated. But there's a level 16, and that's pretty much all that you wanted, right? Get level 16, be able to fight on even levels, even talents, and then you can make your play from there. Sonya has a little bit more slam damage there, and they're starting to make their own play for the top now. And all of a sudden, it's the red team that is forced into a bit of a defense because they don't have their support player. Instead, we have another lockdown, and Hanzo gets murdered. Hanzo is down, and that's a staggered death. Just as Deckard Cain comes back, they lose Hanzo. And now it seems that Wildheart could potentially lock down the first Immortal for the blue team in this game. And it's 14 minutes in. This one is going to be a bit tougher to beat. So they are really barreling down with everything that they have to annihilate the few remaining hit points that that thing still has. And there we go. Another attack. They're trying to go for Sonya over here. Not quite. Once again, the spin to win as Justin moves out of harm's way. Alright. So far, so good. This is the one that really counts a bit. I mean, again, forts are both down on the red team side, which means that this one is going to travel towards the keep. So, Wildheart Esports, 6 kills to 8. They're closing the gap. And they are now in a position where they have a serious push set up at the top side. Now, we're 15 minutes in. This is not a 20, 24-minute Immortal that just crushes with every single blow. But that thing is still going to hurt. And if you get another kill here, yeah, then we're all of a sudden talking. So right now, they are burning. The wall is going to fall. Question is just simply, can you get the keep, yes or no? That's the big question again. 6 kills to 8. Starting to move in for it. Wall is gone within seconds. So are the shields of the Immortal. But that keep is definitely going to suffer a little bit. And it's looking more and more likely that they can take it. Quick damage right here. Again, Durance of Fate already being used, but the keep is down. Keep is down. Core is unlikely unless you get kills. Unless you get some kills in. They're still hoping for those, as you can see. They're posturing around, waiting for a reaction, hoping for someone to overstep a little bit. But they have to bot back here. Immortal is going to be taken out, but the keep is gone. And that puts you in a great spot, of course. Yeah, keep gone. Prismaticism. That's where you need Wave of Force, baby, by the way. That's where this integrate is just fucking useless again. And Wave of Force, that would have been the play here. Get a good Wave of Force in. Rexa follows up with a Misha stun. That's a totally different play. So now ETC has to try to make the play here for them. They're trying to turn it right away here. And, well, off we go. Madara in trouble. And Madara gets murdered. Stick that bow where the sun doesn't shine, Hanzo. He gets crushed. And now they're getting chased. If they lose another one, then it's another problem. And again, Wave of Force right here for the retreat. Utility talent, it's insane. Disintegrate, just...
Nope.
Not happening. Nope. Against the Nubarak, yep. Here, nope. Either way, 7 kills to 8, 18 to 18. Things are looking good here, 69,000. Liming at least is able to poke some damage out, so is Hanzo. Problem is that now they're not able anymore to translate that into damage. There's a lot of meaningless damage that they currently gather up here. They need someone to put in the finishing touches and deliver that killing blow. That worked well in the mid-game, especially after level 10 when they got that 5-man wipe. But if you think about it, after that 5-man wipe, did they get a lot done? Not really. So that's a bit of an issue now. They really need to get some kills again. It's tough against the double support. It's not making this easier, of course. But now we have the bot lane defended. They're trying to go for some additional camps. They're going for a double camp push at the bottom of the map now. And yeah, the next Immortal is popping up. So there's a chance to go for the aggression. Mephisto is already checking out what's happening in the bushes over here, but the poke continues. It's all about level 20 now. Get that level 20 first, and that's exactly what Wildheart Esports is trying to do. They are a little bit ahead in experience now. And the double push at the bottom of the map with the camps is also great. If you can buy yourself some time, that bottom keep might be in trouble. So that forces ETC down because he's the hero with the global. Everybody else is immediately moving top, and they're trying to chase Li Ming. They're trying to chase Prismaticism over here. Yeah, gets unhorsed. Oh, arrow missing completely. ETC dives in. Feint death. Misha down. ETC in trouble. Rexa on the run. ETC sliding out. And oh, full on chaos. Oxygen Esports is in trouble. The team is losing all cohesion here in that fight. Bot lane is pressuring hard. That keep is gonna be destroyed if nobody deals with it. There's the level 20 talents now as they're starting to make even more plays. And this just doesn't bode well for the red team at all. Red Robot, he gets murdered. The bottom keep is about to go down, everybody. You can see it on the minimap. The keep is gone. The double camp with a mad value. Rexa is also dead. This is starting to become a total disaster for Oxygen Esports. keep destroyed, catapults everywhere. The Immortal attack, the halftime show also won 5 versus 3 on the map. They could honestly go for the core at this point, but they want to play it better safe than sorry. Prismaticism, he's completely zoned out here. Starts to poke away a little bit. I mean, good luck with that. It's never going to happen. You're going to need an hour in order to make that work. The rest of the blue team is obviously dishing out the damage on the right side, and Li Ming is getting chased by Uther here. So yeah, that's not doing anything for her. Can't Hearthstone back though, so that keeps them at least at bay, and now they can pick up the kill. So as the Immortal is getting prepped, they can pick up the kill against Li Ming. Easy peasy. That's a staggered death, of course, and that's the end of this one too. Nicely done. Big shout out to Wildheart Esports. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of that particular style. It's kind of funny to see sometimes, but you can't argue with the result. They are playing this great. They also have great coordination, and I can really appreciate this. So there's always good calls from them, and they follow up with very snappy decision making, and that was well played out. Waiting with the Li Ming setup here. They can try and take Malfurion down, but let's face it, once that Immortal is on the core, that thing's over. Hanzo is dead as well. They log in a 3-1 victory against Oxygen Esports and move on to the grand final, to the winner bracket final, whereas Oxygen Esports drops down into the lower bracket, into the losers bracket. Job well done by the blue team. And yeah, a pretty impressive victory with, I mean, clean cut. Losing one map, but still dominant performance. A little bit more damage, chasing heroes, of course, as the Immortal is finishing the job. And that's game. Wildheart Esports in the Heroes of the Storm series secures a 3-1 victory on Battlefield of Eternity and moves on to the winner bracket final, whereas Oxygen Esports finds themselves in the loser bracket.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.